Okay, I want to talk again about something, and we're going to come back to this a lot, an analogy I've used before, but it really applies to the system. It applies to our system we have now. I talk about them treating us like a bank vault. So let me explain. You have these bad institutions now. They haven't always been bad, but now they're institutions, they've been corrupted. The media has been corrupted. The defense industry has been corrupted. Government agency after government agency that's been corrupted. Okay, you get it. So the institutions are all corrupted, and now they work with each other, and I call it the system. But what are they really working with each other for? What's the point? What's the purpose of all this? Well, money and power. You see, if you are a powerful person, once you lose any sense of duty or obligation to your country, then what the country itself becomes is a place to be looted, a bank to be robbed. I'll use this analogy. I'll use two analogies, actually. That's probably a mistake. I'm the head of my household. I have a wallet with the debit card and everything in it. When I take this earpiece out of my ear tonight, there's absolutely nothing stopping me from going to the local casino and spending every single dime I have and staying up all night long drinking whiskey, blowing every dime of the kids' college fund at the poker table. Nobody can stop me. The wife cannot stop me. Kids cannot stop me. If I want to, I can go do that. Why don't I? I'm not going to go do that. Why don't I? Because I have a sense of duty to them. I feel like I have an obligation to them, so I don't. But what if I didn't feel that? What if you could just take that sense of duty and toss it? Well, then I'd be at the blackjack table. That's where our leaders are in this country. And so America to them is just a big bank vault. That's all it is. It's a big pot of money. And what do they want? They want to clean out the bank vault. They want to shovel huge quantities of the money into their own personal bank accounts. Well, they've figured out the best way to do that is if all the institutions work together. If they all work with each other instead of against each other. Hey, stop keeping me in check. Hey, don't do that. If we all just work together like a bank robbery crew, so the media, they're going to handle the getaway car, and the defense industry, they're going to do a lot of the legwork. If we all work together, then we can take everything out of the bank vault. What you're seeing right now with a bunch of Trump's picks has been very, very revealing, because the ones who are threatening the bank robbery crew with arrest, they're the ones who are subject to the most vicious smears all over the place. I'm not even a huge Tulsi Gabbard fan. Have you seen the stuff they've said?
She's a critic of U.S. intelligence operations. She has promoted Russian propaganda. Your fellow Democrat, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, called her, quote, likely a Russian asset. Now, you and Tulsi Gabbard are both veterans. You served with her in the House. What do you think of her?
Well, I think she's compromised. I think by going to Syria and basically backing a brutal dictator there, Russian-controlled media called her a Russian asset. So I do think that we have a real deep concern whether or not she's a compromised person. And frankly, the U.S. intelligence committee, the U.S. intelligence community has identified her as having troubling relationships with America's foes. And so my worry is that she couldn't pass a background check.
Wow. The intelligence community has a big problem with Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, that's interesting. That's a United States senator right there calling her compromised. Not exactly a light accusation, is it? Especially from somebody who spent her career in the military. Of course, it's not just Democrats. Remember, you have low-T GOPers like the low-T GOP mascot, Senator Naked Ken Doll Langford, immediately ran to the cameras and started echoing those sentiments.
Does anything about her concern you?
Well, we'll have lots of questions. She met with Bashir Assad. We'll want to know what the purpose was and what the direction for that was. As a member of Congress, we'll want to get a chance to talk about past comments that she's made and get them into full context. So sure, there's comments that are floating out there, but we want to be able to know the rest of the story.
Oh, we're very, very concerned. Oh, well, why all the opposition to Tulsi Gabbard? She has a very, very opposite view of foreign policy that we've currently had, but compromised? Russian asset? Well, again, this all comes down to money. Don't ever, ever, ever believe this is about freedom or Ukraine or stopping Putin or any of the other things that people on television lie to you and me about all the time, Republican and Democrat. This is all about money. And continuing the Russian-Ukrainian war means vast quantities of money and power for everyone in the system here in America. It's good television. It's good money for the media. I don't have to tell you why it's good for the defense contractors. You know why it's good for generals and admirals. No better way to get promoted and become a war hero than by having your fingers and toes in a war somewhere. It's good for American politicians who not only get campaign contributions from those defense contractors, they also get to be seen as tough and patriotic. And that's why losers like Mitch McConnell get up and they tell you the most important thing in the world is Ukraine.
Providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians, that's the number one priority for the United States right now, according to most Republicans. That's sort of how we see the challenges confronting the country at the moment.
Of course, what's he talking about? Whenever he said that, remember when he said that, because those comments were a little while ago, we all looked around and said, according to most Republicans, what? I mean, look, even if you're super hot on the whole Russia-Ukrainian thing, and you may be, it wouldn't be your number one issue. It might not crack the top 5. So what Republicans is he talking about? Well, he's talking about the other establishment Republicans, the other members of the system. It's not only Democrats who are members of the system. They want this thing to continue forever for money. America is not some wonderful, blessed place in these people's eyes. It's not some place with wonderful traditions. It's not some place with wonderful people, land of the free, great history. That's how you look at America. That's how I look at America. For these people, it's just the bank vault. And I hate that. I hate these people for that. I hate that they don't feel any sense of duty to you or me or to our children or to the country we have. But they don't. No sense of duty to that at all. Those thoughts, they never even cross their mind. It would be like asking a fly its thoughts on calculus. The thoughts it never enters its mind. What do they think about? Well, there's this big pot of money. Huge economy, huge pot of taxpayer money. How can I get some of that for me? That's how the people in this country look at everything. And that's why you see such strong opposition to some of these cabinet picks who are promising reform. Oh, but the intelligence community said, oh, I'm sure they did. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.